Good morning, students. You are welcome in the 15th chapter of your social science course, and the title is Towards Freedom. See, India has always been famous for spices, textiles, jewelry, and pearls. The Arabs were amongst the first to come to India for trade. The Portuguese, the Dutch, the French, and the British followed them. The British emerged as the most powerful among all of them. So they traded through the East India Company, and the company bought goods cheaply from India and sold them abroad at very high prices. This resulted in huge profit for the company. So, little by little, the English East India Company established control over the whole of India. Taking advantage of the lack of unity among the Indians, the British conquered large parts of India and established their rules. Once the British were firmly established in India, they exploited the farmers, traders, craftsmen, and the ruler of Indian kingdoms. The farmers were made to pay very high taxes. Even during floods and droughts, the farmers had to pay their share of taxes. They were forced to grow indigo and cotton. Indigo is a plant which is a source of indigo dye. These were bought at very low rates and sold at very high rates in England and other countries. Thus, farmers in India became poorer. Many died due to starvation. The cheaper mill made cloth was imported into India from England. As a result, the handloom industry of India suffered. Lakhs of weavers became unemployed and they suffered the same fate as the farmers. The British did not allow Indians to open mills and factories. Now, Indian traders were not allowed to trade in items of their own choice. Indian rulers and princes were also unhappy with the British. The law was passed by the British which stated that if a ruler did not have a male child, then upon the death of that ruler, his kingdom would be taken over by the British. By using unjust and unfair means, the British sought to expand their hold over India. The dissatisfaction and anger of most Indians led them to revolt. Now, ever since the coming of the British, people in different parts of India had been protesting against their unfair policies. However, there was no unity in their protest. It was only in 1857 that a major revolt broke out. This was the first war of independence and also called the Sipahi Mutiny or the Great Revolt of 1857. It was an important event in our struggle for freedom. The revolt was started by the Indian soldiers serving in the British Army in India. A new rifle called the Enfield had been introduced in India. A rumor spread that the grease used in the bullets was made from the fat of cows and pigs, and soldiers had to bite off the greased wrapper of the bullet before loading it in the rifle. So, this was against the religious sentiments of both Hindus and the Muslim soldiers. So, they refused to use these rifles and revolted. The revolt started at Meerut and soon spread to large parts of northern and central India. Farmers, craftsmen, and other sections of the society joined the revolt. The soldiers declared the last Mughal emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar their leader. So the revolt was led by Nana Sahib and Tatya Tope at Kanpur, Rani Lakshmibai at Jhansi, and Begum Hazrat Mahal at Awadh. After the revolt, the British suppressed the first war of independence. Many factors were responsible for the failure of the revolt. Like it did not spread to all parts of India. Indian soldiers did not have sufficient money and good weapons, and the revolt was not organized properly. On the other hand, the British soldiers were well equipped with modern weapons and were very well organized. After the revolt was suppressed, many Indians were killed or put into prison. The rule of the East India Company ended in 1858. The administration of India was taken over by the government of England. However, the Indian princes were allowed to rule over their territories. Now, the social and religious reformers. The the British introduced modern education in India. Gradually, educated Indians introduced many social and religious reforms. Reformers such as Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, and Debendranath Tagore were active during this period. They strongly protested against social practices such as sati custom, killing female babies, child marriage, and the caste system. They also encouraged widow remarriage and education of women. Now, educated Indians realized that the British wanted to keep India poor and backward. This realization united the Indians, and slowly the feeling of unity or nationalism grew stronger. The growing feeling of nationalism resulted in the formation of Indian National Congress in 1885. The Indian National Congress was formed by an Englishman named Alan Octavian Hume. Its first session was held at Bombay, now Mumbai. It was attended by 72 delegates from all over India. The president of this session was Vomesh Chandra Banerjee. Thereafter, the Congress met every year in different cities. It slowly became very strong. It awakened the spirit of unity among the Indians. At the same time, it requested the government to introduce reforms to improve the living conditions of the people. The growing popularity of the Congress worried the British, and to suppress the rising spirit of nationalism, the government passed many strict laws. They also used the policy of divide and rule to prevent the Hindus and the Muslims from uniting. So that's all in this chapter. Thank you.